Welcome to Tales from the Streets.
Here's what our narrator has to say. I live with my boyfriend. I moved in with him when I couldn't cope with my rent. The girl I was sharing with suddenly had to go home to take care of her mother. The mother died and left her a small school to manage. That's how come my roommate didn't return to Lagos. I tried getting a new roomie, but most of the girls I spoke to didn't have the kind of money needed to complete the rent. It was a 2-bedroom apartment in Omole Estate. So when my rent expired last year, I couldn't renew, which is why I moved in with my boyfriend. This boyfriend, his name is Henry. I seriously believe must have been very unfaithful to me. Before I began to live with him, I knew he was cheating on me because he lies a lot. He wasn't my first choice of boyfriend, but when I badly needed a place, he offered to house me until I could afford one. He too has a 2-bedroom flat. I didn't like the arrangement, but I had no choice. Plus, we were already dating, though he had no plans for marriage. I knew he had other girls. You will know when a man is cheating on you. So, I know. I was on the lookout for another guy. Shibi too can play. So once in a while, I do hookups with some guys too. My living with Henry isn't because of love or marriage. It was necessity. And he enjoys regular sex with me, so what's the big deal? Anyway, a few weeks ago, I had the sore throat, then headaches and pains all over my body, then fever. I thought I had caught COVID. I went to the clinic that we used in the office, and the doctor, after some tests, COVID tests inclusive, said I should do some more blood tests. When it was discovered that I didn't have COVID, the doctor said we should try malaria test. It wasn't malaria. But by the 3rd or 4th day, I noticed that I had red spots on my face and arms, and my vagina was sore. So I reported back to the hospital, and the doctor said, after another round of tests, that I had syphilis. What is syphilis? How come? Well, I knew how come, but I was surprised still. So maybe it was one of those Jaguda boys that I had hookups with. Maybe. I was given some drugs and injections. Before the treatment began, the doctor asked me if I was married. I said no. Do you have a boyfriend? I said yes. He said I had to tell my boyfriend about it so he could get treated. I said I couldn't tell him. Henry would kick me out of the house if he found out I contacted an infection and gave him a disease. So I told the doctor I couldn't. The doctor now suggested he got one of his nurses to call my boyfriend and tell him someone gave him their number, as he might be at risk of an infection that required he be treated. That was what we agreed on. It was agreed a nurse would call Henry on a Saturday and tell him he needed to come to the clinic first for the test that would determine if he was already infected or would require treatment. I was there when the call came. I knew because he called the name of the hospital. And no, Henry doesn't know that I used the hospital. Yeah, it's an official hospital, but he's not aware of these things. How many things does Henry know about me? Anyway, Henry then, after he received the call, went outside. Do you know Henry came back into the room telling me a friend of his, Master T, one of his friends as we call him, had been admitted to the hospital. Master T in the hospital. Haba, the guy hates hospitals. I knew Henry was lying. A few hours later, I called the hospital. They said they had informed him he needed to come for treatment, and he told them he'll be there on Monday after work. The treatment will be for 3 days. Every time I asked after Master T, Henry would say, he's getting better. He's a fucking liar. It's been 1 week. Henry has neither told me he's been treated for syphilis, nor even asked that I get treated too. He didn't tell me about it at all. What does that mean? It means I may not even have been the one who infected him. Though I saw no signs or symptoms, but then again, he too didn't know about my symptoms. He must also have multiple partners. But I'm the one who lives with him. Why didn't he tell me to protect me? You get what I'm saying? And I also think he must have been the one who infected me. And though we haven't had sex in a while, I just think I should leave him, move away and find another accommodation, because guys like this, they can kill you.
If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.